Welcome to Macrocode. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. So on today's video, we are going to proceed with our employees management system using ASP.NETCOREMVC. So as you can see on last video, we actually created leave types. So here you are able to create a leave type, produce a code, and give it a name. Then when you click save, then we should be able to have our leave type saved. So the next thing that we wanted to do is have our leave applications. We actually created a form where when you click add new leave application, you're able to choose an employee, indicate the number of leave days, the start date and the end date, then choose the duration, leave duration, whether it's half day, then you indicate the leave type, and you can actually now have an attachment which we said we will actually do it. Then when you click save leave application, then you should be able to see that entry within our application. So what I want us to do today, as you can see on this leave application, it actually has a status called pending status. That means our leave application has not been approved. So what I want us to do is to handle that approval process. So you can see we have actions. We have actually categorized this. So when you click action, you have the edit, view. If you click view, you should be able to view the details of the leave. Then when you go back to the list, you can navigate back. When you say delete, you'll be able to see the data before actually deleting. So what I want us to do today is this approve button. So what I've done, if you come to our application and leave application, so I've added a page called approve leave application, which actually gives us the details of the leave application. So you can see these are actually the details. We are actually retrieving the details of the leave application. So here the details, you can actually display full name for the employee. So we'll do that. Then for the duration, you can display also the description. So we'll say description. So then for the leave type, we'll indicate here name so that you're able to. So if we apply the changes, go back to our leave application, you'll see we have our employee, which is the full name, leave days, then duration, then we have our leave type, which is annual leave, the notes, and all the details here. So what I want us to do is, so what happens when we say approve leave application? So if we click approve leave application, it should actually change the status of our leave application to the status that we created. So if we come to our system codes, we were able to create some statuses. As you can see, we have a leave approval status. You can actually approve, reject, and maybe say awaiting approval. So if we do that, I want us to activate this action. So I'll go back to our leave application. So you'll see that these, so I want us to have these as so here, I'll just put these as here I'll put a form here. I'll just say form. Then you can actually borrow from the create. So this is the thing. So I'm going to add it here. So we indicate the action. Then here we close our form. Then here we will say approve leave application. Should actually say approve leave application. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to say approve leave application. Then here we'll say we can indicate the method. So I'll just say method. Then that is post. So I'll just do post. So when you come to our controller for leave applications, we have our leave application approve. Then I want us to indicate to have now another action for approve. So this is our leave application get method. So you can actually indicate here. So you'll say ht get. So you can do that. Then we can indicate this as ht. So this will be ht post. And we can have our ID, and also we can have our leave application model. So we can have our leave application, then you can say leave. So once we do that, we should be able to get our leave application using our ID here. But now I want us to get the status of the leave application. So I want us to change the status. And to do that, I'm going to just borrow this, then go back to approve leave application. Then I'm going to say variable approved status. We're going to get the status of approved. Then here our status is, so we'll do, we can actually have it as a context. Then system codes, we include that. Then we want to get leave duration. These hours now will not be leave duration, but leave application. So we'll say leave approval status. So that is the system code, but now we want the code for approved. So I'll just do and y.code. So y.code is equals to approved. So we'll say approved. So once we have that, so these we can do away with this. Then you can say dot first or default. So I'm going to do that. Then we now have our approved status. So once we have our approved status, I'm going to do away with this. We can just leave it. So there we go. So once we have our approved status, I'm going to say leave application dot approved on. I have the date time. Then I say now. Then I can actually have our approved by. So I'll say approved by, then I can do here macro code. So I'll do away with this. Then here I can say macro code. So I'll do that. Then I want us to change the status of our leave application. Then I'll say status will actually change. A status ID will now be approved status. Then you can say dot ID. So it will get our approved status ID. Then after saying that, we can now do here, can say context dot add. So you can actually add that. So you can say context dot leave applications dot add. Then we'll do await dot context. So here we'll say await context dot save changes. So this is, so I'll say dot leave applications. So this is context dot save changes. So let's just use one that we have here. You can borrow this. So here it should be add. You can just borrow this. You say context dot add leave application, then await context dot save changes. But on that is on creation. But modify, we should actually do leave dot update. So we are trying to modify. So this is our, so we'll say on approved leave here we'll say modify or update. So this is context dot update. Then we say apply changes and save the changes. So let's try to launch our application and see whether our leave application will get approved. So if we launch our app, we should be able to approve now our leave application. So if you're new to this channel, consider watching our videos and the continuation of this video, because we'll be actually completing this series to ensure that we have a complete employees management system. So if you also like the video, you can buy us coffee, a hot one, and we will really appreciate. So our app is launching. Let's see. So we have our leave application. So I'll go to leave applications. Then we can approve one leave. So you can see there. So I'll just do approve. Then it will give me the details of the leave. Then I'll need to click approve leave application. But now let's confirm our approve leave application. So let's go back to approve leave application if there is any form, because I'm checking it's actually redirecting us to a different thing. So this is actually, this should not be. So here I can have, this should be there. So this should not be action, but should be a button. So let me just borrow one that we have here. Let me borrow what we have here. So I'm going to use that and change these two. I'm going to change this to be a button, and you can say approve leave application. You can do away with this. Then if we apply the changes, we should be able to have our application refreshes. Let's just wait and see. There we go. So if we click approve, let's confirm. So let's confirm if our approve leave application is working. So come to our leave application. So here I'll just do, let me just do that. Then I'm going to have my leave.id. So if I launch our app, we should be able, when we click approve, we should get our, actually we can just come to our form here. I can actually have it here. So let's just have it here. Yes. Then you can close that. You can actually have it at the top. Let's just do away with this, and you can have it here. We have that as a form. Then that should be closed. So if we do that, this should be closed, and you can do away with this. So I'm going to launch our app now. Then we confirm if we will have our leave application approved. So let's just do that. Then when we click submit, we should be able to approve our leave application. So going to leave applications, then click approve. It should give us the details. So if I click approve, let's confirm leave application. Are we getting here, or is getting here? So let's just confirm. So if we click approve, you see it is actually coming back here. So that means our leave application is, so you see we don't have the details of our leave application. So you see the details, that employee ID, the ID of the leave application. I think we have, you see the ID. So if we go back to our, if we step into, then we should be able to get the status of our approved status. You see, we have the status is approved. Then when we go back here, we actually get the leave application details, as you can see. So everything is okay. Then we need to update. So let's confirm if it's updating. Confirm. Save changes. Yes, so our application is saving. So what is the issue? Why it's actually returning to our leave application? But that one should not be the case. What should happen is, when we save it, it should actually take us to, it should redirect us to index. So I'm going to use that. So we need to save this to index. So I'm going to have this redirect to index. So let's just stop our application, then relaunch. So if we do that, we should be able to approve our leave application. So let's just confirm. So there we go. Our application is launching. So let's go here and leave application. We should see that one of our leave application is actually approved. You see, it is actually approved. So it was approving, but not redirecting us to the correct page. So if we just do another one, approve, it will give us the details of our leave application. So let's just, there's a breakpoint here. I'm going to remove that. Then there we go. If we click approve, it will approve and take us to the index page. So let's confirm. We have another breakpoint. So we do that. There you go. You see it is now approved. Let's do another one. We approve. You see it has been approved. So we can also do another one for rejection. So I'm going to create another page for rejection. So I'm going to add new view, then raise a view. Then I'm going to say reject leave. So if I do that, then I'm going to copy the ones that we have for approval. Then I'm going to just paste here. Then I do that. Then I can do that. But now, instead of doing that, let's just do that. But I'll show you a better way to do it. So we'll just do reject leave. So we'll say here reject leave, reject leave. Then we'll be able to have our leave details. Then here we can now say reject leave, and we can have this as danger. So the next thing that we need to do is we actually duplicate our actions. So I'll just do here this, copy that, then we'll have paste it down there. Then we can replace this. We can actually rename it to reject leave. So the reject leave here, then that is our get, and we need a post for the same. So I'll just copy this, then have a post here for rejecting the leave. So I'll just say here reject leave, and here we will now get our reject status. Reject status, and our status should be leave approval status, and we need a rejected. Then here we'll now have our rejected status. So then we use the same thing. So when we come to our reject for our reserve page, we should now indicate that here we are doing on our form should be reject leave. So here you'll say reject leave. So under index, we need also to add another action for rejection. So I'll just copy this and paste it down here. So I'm going to remove that here. Then I'll say this is reject. Then I'll also do here class as danger. So if I launch our app, we should be able to reject a leave application. So let's confirm. So we notice some of you guys are watching our videos and you don't subscribe. So please subscribe to support us and also to help us record more of these videos. So as you can see, we have leave applications. So we can actually reject one or two. So I'll come back here and say reject. So if I click reject, it is actually taking us to approve. So what we're missing is we should actually change this action. It should take us to reject leave. So I'm going to update the changes. Then I'm going to go back. So our application should refresh. There we go. So I'm going back. Then I can say reject. So you see, it has given us the reject URL. Then we have the reject leave application details, and we have the reject leave application. So if I just do reject, it should actually reject leave application, and you see it has our rejected action. Our status has actually indicated rejected. Then I'm going to say reject that, and I can approve this. I can approve that. Then I can say this is reject. So you see all these leave application, we have approved, rejected, and There we go. So what I want us to do for the leave applications, I want to have all these leave applications that are actually awaiting approval. But I want also to separate the approved leave application from the rejected ones. So what I want us to do, let's create another Razor page. So I'm going to create here another list. Then we'll say that list should contain approved leave applications. So I'm going to say approved leave applications. So if I press enter, I want to copy the one for index. I'm going to copy everything in index page and we paste it here. But now for approved leave application, what is the action? We should actually maybe view the details. That should be the only thing. So I'm going to remove all these actions and we are only left with the view details. So after doing that, I'm going to say here this is approved leave applications. So for the approved leave application, for us to get approved leave applications, I'm going also to remove this new, then our leave application. So we'll say this is approved leave applications list. Then this leave application list, approved leave application, we should actually get the data for only the approved leave application. So go to our leave applications controller, just below the index. So you see this index, I want us to do something. I want us to copy this, paste it here. Then we have our leave application as approved leave applications. So this will actually give us, so here we can actually say to list. So here we can do to list. We can just leave it as it is. So this will now redirect us to our approved leave applications. But this one will give us everything. So what I want us to do is I want us to say here to get first the status of our approved leave application. So we'll say variable. Let's copy what we had done under approval. So for approval, we have the approved status. So this is the status. So this is the status of approved leave applications. So I'll come here, then I'll just do, this is my status of approved, which we are actually getting from the leave application status, and it's approved. Then I'll just say I want here dot, so I'll say dot where, then I'll do L, so I'll say L, I'll remove first this one, then I'll say L, where L dot status is equals to, so I just take this and I can say status ID actually. I can say status ID is equals to approved dot ID. Then it will actually give me only the approved. So here we know we have a value. I'll just do that. I need to do that. Yes. So if we do that, it should actually give us only the approved leave applications. So let's also do another Razor page. So we'll have here Razor view. We have a rejected. So we'll say rejected leave applications. So if we do that, I'll click there. Then we can copy the ones for approved. Copy everything and also paste it here. So you can see I have approved leave application, so this should be rejected. So I'm going to modify that and also have here as rejected. Then we can also have only the action to view. So that is okay. So this action, we also need a get method for it. So we are going to a controller. Then I'm going to have here my leave rejected and I'm going to copy this. Then paste it here. Then our action should be rejected leave applications. And here we should get the rejected status. So here we'll say rejected. Then our system code detail here should be rejected. So I'll just do rejected. Then after that, we can actually do here rejected dot status ID, and this will give us all the rejected leave applications. So after we have done with that, remember we need to have our navigation. So we'll just go to layout. Then under layout, within our leave applications, you see this is our leave applications. I'll just now confirm and have it here another list, and you can say approved. So this is approved. Then you can do another one for rejected. So you'll say rejected, rejected. And these navigations should take us to the respective actions. So we'll have our approved leave application action, which will be here. Then our rejected leave application action, which will be here. So if we do that, let's now launch our app and see. So we should be able to have our rejected leave application list and the approved leave applications list. So let's confirm and see. So let's launch our app. So if we go to leave applications, we should be able to see we have a leave applications, approved leave, and rejected leave applications. So if we go to approved, we should only get the approved leave application. You see, we have the approved leave details and the status actually approved. Under action, you see we only have the view action. So if we click view, it takes us to the view. So if we go to rejected, it should also give us the rejected leave applications only. But when you go to leave applications, we actually have all the lists. So here also you should actually separate to ensure that we only have those leave applications that has not been actioned. So I'll go to our controller. We can copy the same status here, then paste it here. Then here we will say, so we'll say here awaiting approval. I think we'll change our status to be awaiting approval for the first time that you create a leave. Then I'm going to have this is awaiting. So this is our variable. So we'll say awaiting status. Then we'll do the same thing here. We say where. So here I'll remove that. Then I'll say where. So this is where status ID is awaiting approval. Then what we need to confirm also, when we create our leave applications, so we need to be assigning our leave applications as awaiting approval. So under create, so let's go back to create action. So under create action, our status here, we can actually change it to awaiting approval. So if we launch our app, we should not get any list under our leave applications. So we should be able to get an empty list, but when we create a leave, we should be able to track it. So let's confirm. So our app is launching. There we go. So we have our leave applications, then a leave applications. Then we can now say, you see, we don't have anything. So let's launch a new leave application. So I'll choose an employee, put in the number of days, start date, end date. Then choose the leave type, then attachment, then you can have here notes. Then I'll save our employee. So you see, our status now is awaiting approval. We can add another one. You can add another leave application. You can say this is 2. This is the start date and this is the end date. Then you can choose the day. Then we can do that. Then if we click save, we see we have now our leave applications. So I want us to reject one. So we say reject our leave application, and you see it has gone. So it should come to rejected leave applications. You see we have it here. So if we go to our leave applications as well, we can approve another one. We can say approve, then we approve. So what I want us to do, you see on our leave applications, we have approved leave application. So I want us to change the status of that leave application. So if you come to our approved leave application list, I want us to change this status. So what I want us to do, I want us to have here class. Then I can say here we can have a color. So we can say here you can have here maybe a style. We'll say style. Then you can say color. You can say text color. So just do text color. Or you can just do color. Let's just do that, and you can choose. And you can have let's choose another one. So let's choose. Can choose some colors here. So I'm going to go with this one. So if we do that, apply our changes, let's see how our form will look like. It's refreshing. So you see that is the colors. So you can actually do the same thing, or you can have as a background color. So if we apply that, it should change the background color here. So you see, so that is the action. So we can also do the same thing for rejected. So we go back to our rejected leave applications, and I can have a color under the status. Then here I'll just do here style. Then I'll do here red. So if I can do dark red. So if I apply my changes, go back to our rejected leave applications, then go to rejected. Our background color here should be rejected. I think that's a bit, so let's try another one. Red. You can do Indian red. Let's choose another one, orange red. So if we do that, our rejected statuses, let's see how it looks like. You see, it is indicating that way. So for the awaiting approval, also you can have a background color if you want to choose that. So we'll just go to index. Then I want us to have a background color here. Then I'll just maybe choose another color called, can have it maybe green. So if we do that, apply the changes, then let's go back to our leave applications. Then we can create one. I'll just choose one. Then the date. Then here, annual leave, attachment, then notes, then I can save. So you see that is the status. So if I click approve, I should be able to approve. So there is one thing that I want us to do. If you see here, when we create a new leave application, we can do that, then we can create one. So if we create one leave application, assuming when we want to approve, you need to capture some notes. So you can, maybe you want to capture some notes when approving. So what we can do is come to our model. So on our model that we created for leave applications, we did not capture, we don't want to override the notes that was captured during creation of the leave application. So the only notes that we have here is the description, and it actually captures the notes that was captured by the user during approval. So what I want us to do, I want us to add another notes. So you can say here approval notes. Then here we'll say approval notes. So then we need to add migrations to effect these changes to our database. So I'll just do add migration, then we say approval notes. Then when we add approval notes, if everything goes well, our migration file should be generated, and we should be in a good position to update our database. So there we go. So let's just confirm. There we go. So I'll do update database. I'll just do update database. So this will now add the new column. It will add this column for approval notes. So you see this column will be added to our database, which is actually done. So after doing that, come to our approved. So that is the approved leave application. Then we need to add, I want us to add here, I want us to add an input. So you can say actually text area. So you can do that. Then these we can have a class, can do form. So we'll just do form control. Then you can do here, you can say for. So this is SP4. Then you can say this is approval notes. Then here we will just have our label. So let me just borrow one here. I'll just borrow this. Just borrow this. I'm going to borrow this label. Then under approved leave application, I want us to have a label here. Then you can say for approval notes. So the same thing that we need to do here, we can do it under the rejected page, where we'll add this here. So if we launch our app, we should be able now to add approval notes when we are actually creating our leave application. So let's just confirm. So if we just go back to our leave applications, then we can actually say approve. And you can see here, we now have our approval notes. So we'll say this is okay, proceed for leave. Then if we say approved, it should now approve our leave application with notes. So to do that, let's just confirm our database to ensure that those details are being updated. So there we go. So I'm going to connect to my application. So the name of our application, that is employees, our database I mean. Then if we go back to leave application, I'm going to select top 1000. Then it should give us the data. So you see this is the last column that we added. And if we go back to, we should be able to see, you see here, our data is not being saved. So that means when we go to our update, so where is it? On our controller, where we are actually approving. So when we approve our leave application, we need to assign our notes. So I'm going also to have these here. Then I'll say notes. Approval notes should come from this leave, and we assign it the notes. Approval notes. So this should be an exclamation here. Then if we do that, we should be able to have our notes. The same thing should happen for the rejected leave applications. So let me just go back. Under the reject leave application, we should also have the same thing. So I'm going to do that. Sorry. So let's now launch our app and see. So I'm going to relaunch our app. We create a new leave application and try to approve and reject. So if we launch, so there we go. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, like our videos, comment down below in case you feel we need to add something. So I'm going to create another leave applications. Then if we do that, then new leave application, create one. Then we can do that. Can have this, change attachments. Then if we save, then we should be able to approve. So I'm going to approve. Then I provide my notes. I say this is okay, proceed for leave. So if we approve, we should be able to get that details in our database. So sorry. So if I just do that, you see this is the text. This is okay, proceed for leave. So you should now able to have our notes during approval. So I'm going to also do another thing here. We try to reject one we see. So this is the notes, save. Then I'm going to reject. So I'm going to say reject. Then I'll say, please provide the correct attachment. In case they wanted an attachment and you did not add it, so I'm saying reject. Then if we go to our database, we should be able to get that leave application with the rejected comment. You see, please provide the correct attachment. Then if you go back to our leave applications, approved leave applications, you're able to see them. And for the rejected leave applications, you're able to see them. So I think that is it for today, guys. So if you like this video, comment down below, subscribe, and see you in our next video. Bye.